full moon over Sierra. After the show, the lights go down. Another rocky road.
Well, welcome to another week of OmnTV. I'm Bob Getz, the producer, and today's host of this half-hour segment. Today we have our special guest star, Darcy Jeavon. Hi, Darcy.
Okay, how's it going, Robert?
It's fun here. Boy, am I glad we're hooking up. What a smile.
Aw, you're so sweet. Thank you so much.
Hey. Well,
Thank you so much for having me, too. That's why I'm smiling.
well, this is great because this is our first face-to-face, if I can say that. And, I mean, we've done so much emailing back and forth, pros and cons. We've done a lot of commenting on various tunes that we've all put on. Me covered, you original stuff. Let's talk about you. This is all you. So, what's Darcy Jeavon all about?
Darcy Jeavon's all about. I love how you say that, Jeavons, too. You know, that's fine.
It's the French coming out.
It is the French. Yes, that's fine. It sounds very, it sounds very cool that way. Anyway, about me, well, let's see. Music. I'm all about music. That's for darn sure. And I'm a single parent and have been for quite some time. I went back to school, studied music, got a Bachelor of Arts in Music at the Bob Cole Conservatory in Long Beach at the California State University. And I think I'm going to be a professional student at this point. I'm still taking classes, although I'm taking classes at Berklee College of Music in Massachusetts, Boston, online student for music production.
What a girl.
So, yeah, it's great when you're a songwriter, as I am. It's nice to speak the production language if somebody's producing it, and also being able to produce your own stuff gives you a little bit more freedom to get the sound that you want, and I enjoy it tremendously, so I'm very glad I'm continuing that way. I might choose to get a master's as well in musicology. I'm not quite sure. That would be the beginning of next year, so I love learning. I love learning about music. I'm teaching guitar to young students now as well, and that's a lot of fun for me. A lot of fun because it's spreading the music, spreading the fun. I mean, music is so joyful and everybody's so happy with music. So I like to continue on with the education and teaching others as well.
Well, I see you do a lot of front-end church music. And how long have you been doing that?
Well, I have this thought that music lives in your heart and so does God. And so they're kind of roomies in there. They belong together. And to me, when I lead worship, when I sing Christian songs or worship songs, it is the most natural feeling for me. There's a love inside of those songs and something to share with others that is so wonderful. I enjoy it tremendously. So that is a big part of my music. Is definitely the worship and the praising God through music. It just goes so well together, and it speaks to people's hearts. And I've seen a lot of people, like I lead worship for a Celebrate Recovery, which is people who are in recovery. It's a 12-step program that's very Jesus and God influenced, and I totally believe that in recovery. I don't know how people can really recover without God's help, and the music speaks so loudly.
Well, that it does, but right now our first song, I believe, is a collaboration with Jason Margates, So Unto You. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So Unto You. Well, you said Jason Margates. Yes, we are partners in the crime of songwriting. God, he is absolutely marvelous, wonderful. We are like two peas in a pod. We are very close. We think a lot alike. It just seemed natural when we discovered each other on Vandalism. We started supporting each other, and musically, it's just been magic. It's literally magic. We get together and we make the most wonderful music together. It's just a very, very good fit, and he's absolutely absolutely amazing. So that was our second song. 17 was our second song that we wrote together.
Just to showcase this right now, here's Darcy Jeavon and Jason Mark Yates performing So Into You. Enjoy.
Yeah, it's true. Guess I've just reacted to the way that I'm attracted to you now. Disconnected, maybe so. My mind's infected with you. Oh, it's gotta be expected. Days or hours, you're the center of my every thought. I'm relying on your touch that's supplying me with such a rush. There is no denying magic that we've got. I'm so those big blue eyes, I'm so into your yearning sighs. I'm so into the way we met. I'm so into things we've not done yet. I'm so into how you hold me. I'm so into the way you told me. Ooh, I'm so
so into you. I'm 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 so into you. Yeah.
Hi, welcome back. Great song, Darcy. I'm Bob Getz again, and Darcy. Next song, I think we already talked about My Little Girl and Boy. Can you give us a little info on that one?
My Little Girl and Boy. Well, it's about my little girl and boy. They're not very little anymore, though. But when I wrote the song, obviously it was inspired by them. Just the feeling about being a mother and being so blessed to have kids and a little boy and girl. And it was great finally recording that and getting the video put together and having pictures of them at the very end of the video also, that when they were babies, and then as they got older, and then the video ends with them because they're now 17 and 18. So I'm really glad that we got to record this song and put it out there so that my kids will always have something to look at. You know,
Oh, you're still young. For that age, you're still young looking.
I'm still young, is that what you said?
Well, that must be that California air.
Oh, is that it?
Because my two daughters are, well, we'll be turning 29 this August, and 33 just a couple days ago. So,
Wow.
so
Well, you know, kids, they grow up way too fast. That's all there is to it. So
Well-
I really wanted to get that song out there so that they would have something to look back at and maybe tell the grandkids about it. You know.
okay, well, let's get to the song right now. So here's Darcy Jeavon. I get my mouth working, my tongue working at the same time, and not clouding up my teeth. My Little Girl and Boy.
I can't seem to remember how I lived my life before. A day without a favorite dog or friendly dinosaur, or pictures proudly hanging on the fridge made just for me, or a time I didn't soothe a scrape upon a knee. I was born again with you and started down a road where the words I love you mean much more each time they're told. You take me to a world with you where make-believe is real, and show me joy in simple things that somehow years can steal. I tuck you in at night, you gently hold my hand, you say leave on the light, of course I understand. And if a monster does appear, I'll make it go away. I'll be your friend tomorrow when no one comes out to play. I'll guide you through each storm today and when you've grown. I'll keep you safe and warm. I'll let you fly alone. Remember, there is nothing with the power to destroy my love for you, my little girl and boy. A princess with red hair and curls, whose smile could light the earth. A soldier strong with hair of brown guards castles made of dirt. Oh, I'd give my life, my very breath, if ever I had to protect you both from harm. There's nothing I would not do. Every hug, every kiss, nothing compares to this. Every tear through it all. I tuck you in at night. You gently hold my hand. You say live on the light. Of course I understand. And if a monster does appear, I'll make it go away. I'll be a friend tomorrow when no one comes out to play. I'll guide you through each storm today and when you've grown. I'll keep you safe and warm. I'll let you fly alone. Remember, there is nothing with the power to destroy my love for you. Oh, my love for you. My love for you, my little girl and boy.
Well, welcome back again. Darcy, outstanding. The next song that we got coming up, What If? Good question. Why'd you write that one? What if?
You know, that song was actually my daughter. She asked me to write a song. It was not a love song, and it was more kind of a soul-searching, introspective sort of thing. And I was walking that day and smelling the jasmine in the air, and that was like late spring. And I thought, oh my gosh, I love that smell every single year. What would happen if that didn't exist? And then I started thinking, of course, of all the other things and how we don't see things, how we take things for granted. And then Steve Lucier helped produce it and took it to a different level with the banjo and made it sound awesome. So I'm very fortunate to work with him as well.
Well, let's take a listen to Darcy Jeavon singing What If.
What if jasmine didn't drift on the springtime air? What if walking in the rain never washed away a care? What if smiles were never shared? What if hands could never touch? What if nothing really mattered very much? What if blue just disappeared and the clouds all flew away? Things be seen more clearly with nothing in the bright sun's way? What if falling snow melted before it blanketed the winter ground? What if somebody was lost wings when the dream comes true? What if everything that is was not the way it was? What if people only lived just because? What if joy ran out of tears? What if lips could never touch? What if nothing really mattered very much? What if children couldn't wish? What if lovers never knew how the heart grows wings when the dream comes true? What if everything that is was not the way it was? What if people only lived just because? What if we only lived just because?
That was another stunner there, Darcy. Well, we're coming up to our last song of the first half hour of our show. It's a little upbeat of a song called Gimme Back My Heart. It's quite a change for you, Darcy, and I loved it.
Yes, I like a variety of music, and this is definitely a girl power song, and working with John Haronti is amazing. He's from Germany, great arranger, fantastic musician and producer, and he took this song and took it to the next level, very retro, and gave it that style that it needed. It started as a country rock song, and actually he flipped that one around and gave it this new level of funness, and I love it. It's great. It's one of those girl power songs, so I'm happy to work with him on that.
I know the people that are going to be watching this will have some fun with this song, because after listening to the first three songs, how smooth and mellow and refined the music that you were singing, and all of a sudden, bam, they hit you with this "Give me back my heart." And it's going to like jaws going to drop down to their knees, and so here's Darcy saying, "Give me back my heart."
If it's more you want, go and get it from her. Pack up, keep cheating and lies. Don't bother with any goodbyes. You know the way to the door. Before you go, there's one thing more. You can do it. You don't need it anyway. It's one you've had your fun. Give me back my heart. Just look what you've done. Give me back my heart. 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 Give me back my heart.
Well, welcome back. Now, we're at the end of our second half of our, well, actually, at the end of our first half, getting ready to go into our second half. Let's get my mouth working. I want to thank Darcy Jeavon for being our guest star for this week anyway. I want to thank her for her the 4 songs that we actually are or will be putting on air, and especially that "Give Me Back My Heart." God, girl, I love that song. That just made my feet go tapping. So at this stage of the half hour, is there anything else that you'd like to say to our audience?
Well, Robert, I want to thank you so much. The pleasure has been all mine. This is great. This is such a wonderful spotlight that you have here for songwriters, and I feel so privileged to be a part of it. It's been wonderful. You're wonderful, and I'm so glad you like "Give Me Back My Heart." You know, that makes me feel really good. And I'm on Vandalism. I'm on YouTube. I also am on Reverb Nation. So that's where I can be heard, and more songs. And Jason's and my songs are there. So as I said, it's been a pleasure, and thank you so much. And maybe sometime I can return.
Well, welcome back to the second half of the show. We want to give our thanks to Darcy Jeavon for her first half hour. It was a great half hour. We enjoyed her. But the second half hour, as you can see, the building behind me is owned by a gentleman by the name of Samuel Langhorne Clemens. I'll get it right. But his alias name is Mark Twain. I'm going to let the individual who's going to be coming in very shortly, Jacques Lamars, tell you what and where Mark Twain's name came from. So, at this point, first thing I want to do is give you a little tidbit on Mark Twain. Sort of like summarizing his whole life from the day he was born to the time he died. Back in 1909, Twain is quoted as saying, "I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835, and it's coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it. It will be the greatest disappointment of my life if I don't go out with Halley's Comet." And the Almighty said, "No doubt. Now, here are these two unaccountable freaks. They came in together, and they must go out together." Mark Twain died of a heart attack on April 21st, 1910. Believe it or not, a heart attack the day after the closest point that Halley's Comet came to Earth. Well, right now, I want to introduce Jacques Lamars. And I got his last name correct this time. How you doing, Jacques?
Good. How are you?
Can you tell us a little bit about this house in particular, and how long you've been here, so we can give a little tidbit on yourself as well?
Sure.
You can hang on to the mic if you
All
want.
right. Well, I've been here 4 years as the Director of Communications and Special Programs for the Mark Twain House and Museum. And it's been such a privilege working at this amazing National Historic Landmark. Last year, it was selected by National Geographic as one of the 10 best historic houses in the world. So to have this asset right here in our community is amazing, and it is the home of Mark Twain, aka Samuel Langhorne Clemens, who lived in this house for 17 years. He only built 2 houses during his lifetime, both of them in Connecticut. The other house was in Reading, Connecticut at the end of his life. It's where he was when he died in 1910. That house burned down, so this is the only one in Connecticut that you can visit that he built specifically for himself.
He was not born here, was he?
No, he was born in 1835, November 30th, 1835, in Florida, Missouri. A lot of people think he was born in Hannibal, which is where he moved when he was a few years old with his parents. And when he achieved 5th grade, his father passed away, and his mother took him out of school to make him help start, contributing to the family finances.
Didn't he use Hannibal as a reference point for his adventures to Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer, another familiar name from the Mississippi, I believe. But was that name St. Petersburg?
Yeah, it was called St. Petersburg in The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, Life on the Mississippi, which is a very autobiographical piece. Plus it factors into other books like Tom Sawyer Abroad and Tom Sawyer Detective.
Prince and the Pauper did he write that here?
While he was in the house, during the 17 years that he lived in the house, is when he wrote Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, Prince and the Pauper, Connecticut Yankee and King Arthur's Court, Life on the Mississippi, A Tramp Abroad, and a book called Sketches Old and New. He didn't write them just in this house, though. He was here fall, winter, spring. In the summers, they would go to Elmira, and he was actually able to be a little bit more productive with his time. But we know, for example, he wrote most of Prince and the Pauper here, and wrote most of Huckleberry Finn in Elmira, but worked on both books in both places.
Now, he married a young lady she was affluent?
Yes, he married a woman named Olivia Langdon. He met her through her brother. The brother, Charles Langdon, showed Twain a picture of her as a young lady, and he said, "This is the girl I'm going to marry." He went to New York with Charles Langdon to meet Livy, as he would call her. She wasn't that interested, and so he pursued her parents, tried to win them over. The parents said, "We want to see references. We're not sure about this character." And so he gave them names and addresses of people out in the Wild West that he knew. By the time the references came back saying, "You don't want your daughter marrying this man," it was too late. She had fallen in love with him, and they had fallen in love with him.
I know that one.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
There you go.
The last thing before we go on the inside, I believe he was a river pilot.
Yeah, his dream wasn't to be an author. His dream growing up on the banks of the Mississippi in Hannibal was to be a riverboat pilot and be able to see the world that way. Because as far as he knew, the world was the river. And so he did go through training to become a riverboat pilot. He did get his pilot's license. Unfortunately, a little thing came along called the Civil War, and it shut down the Mississippi.
Yeah, but he was only in it for about 2 weeks before he decided, it's not for him.
Yeah, he conscripted into the Confederate side for 2 weeks, spent more time running away from action, wrote a very funny piece called The Private History of a Campaign That Failed.
Now, he got his name Mark Twain how?
He got his name Mark Twain based on riverboat lore. When a Mississippi riverboat needs a certain required amount of depth to be able to travel safely on the river, 2 fathoms, which is 12 feet. And so they would have someone on the deck of the boat drop a line with a lead weight. Mm-hmm. When it went down 2 fathoms, it would hit a certain mark, and they would yell out, "Mark Twain!" And so, of course, this is a term he would have heard plenty of times, and it's the division between safe water and dangerous water.
Okay, so at this point, I think we'll cut it right here. It's just so we can go on the inside and take a look at some of his furniture.
There you go.
Rooms.
There you go.
The lighting. Jacques, this is a great little room as far as my height is concerned. What room is this?
This is the drawing room. This is where the Clemens family would do a lot of entertaining when guests first arrived in the house. What you see on the walls and the ceiling in this room are all Tiffany designed stenciling from the firm Associated Artists, Louis Comfort Tiffany. The room was designed to look Indian in nature, and this room probably has the most original artifacts from when the Clemens family lived in the house.
You're talking Indian Western, not Indian Eastern.
Southeastern, was it Southeast Asian?
Oh, okay.
Yes, not Native American.
Not Native American.
So it looks a bit like you're in India in this particular room with the soft colors, very feminine to match Livy Langdon Clemens' taste. But this room has original chandeliers, sofa, chairs, what have you.
Nice. So this is the library and conservatory.
This is the library, and right behind us is the conservatory with the plants and the fountain bubbling. This was really almost like a family room of the house. It was where he kept his personal collection of books, some of which we don't keep in the shelves here because he would write in them. He would make funny notes and say horrible things about other people's writing or other people, what have you. So we keep those in the museum. But the books that you see on the shelves in here are very typical to what he would have had in his personal library. The big thing in this room is the mantelpiece, which came from a castle in Scotland. And he and his wife purchased it on their trip to England, had it shipped back here. It was too big.
It's beautiful.
So they took the top off and put it over the door heading into the dining room. And they would use the mantelpiece, or he would use the mantelpiece to tell his girls a bedtime story. He would start with a painting of the cat at one end and work his way down using every item in the mantel in the story until they got to the painting of the girl at the end that they called Emmeline. And every night was an original story, and all of these things had to show up every night in the channel.
Great. Where are we going next?
Why don't we head upstairs and check out some of the bedrooms?
So this is Mr. Clemens' bedroom.
This was the master bedroom of the house that he shared with his wife Olivia, or Livy. That is the original angel bed that the couple purchased on their trip to Venice. They spent $200, had it shipped back here. They were told it was a priceless antique from a villa. Once they had it appraised, it wasn't as priceless as they thought.
They got taken.
They got taken, yes. He still loved it. They slept in the bed facing the wrong way. So the pillows are at the footboard so they could admire what they spent their money on. And thank goodness Mark Twain slept in it because now it's priceless. The angels on the corner of the bed lift off and the girls would take them away. They had 3 daughters. The girls would take them away and they would play with them. They'd bathe them like dolls, dress them up. And the rule was they had to be back on the corner of the bed by bedtime so he could sleep surrounded by his angels.
So, how tall was Mark Twain?
He was about 5'8". Most people look at this bed and say, boy, he must have been really short. But he was average height.
For me, I stand at 6'8", and no.
I would consider you not average height. So, you would have to sleep diagonal and your feet would still hang off.
Now, was this room built for any particular style?
Well, the whole house is built in the picturesque Gothic style, the very Victorian era. So, lots of busy prints in the house, lots of kind of heavy colors, large furniture, that sort of thing.
We've gone through 3 rooms here at the Mark Twain house, and I'm about to introduce our first 2 performers of the evening. A gentleman from Israel, he goes by the name of Leor. The song that he'll be performing is called Baby, I Want You. It's a song written to a girl that he met while he was at the university. He wrote it as a gift, and shortly after, she left him. I hope it wasn't the song lead, but I listened to the song and I thought the song was great. And following Leor is a gentleman from the UK named Dave Hilborn. Will be performing a song called Some Birds that was written 13 years ago. I hope you enjoy.
I remember the first day. I remember your smiling face. I was melted by the light of your love. The night we walked together and stars above. Baby, I want you, and I want you to know I love you. Baby, I need you, and I want you to show me your love. If you want me,
still feeling for the cure. In a state, hardly breathing, right for healing by the cure. Simple talk, so confusing, when you're still spinning from the cure. And hard though it must have been to let her leave this place was the best of things you could have done. Some birds are never caged. Now the scalpel is his reason. Don't stop believing in the cure. Nothing short of heartbroken. Well, you're still seeking an active cure. Yes, hard though it must have been to let her leave was the best of things you could have done. Some birds are never caged. Some birds are never.
Now we just walked through, I believe it was a children's bedroom, and this is a schoolroom that they were taught in-house?
They were a combination. They did
Okay.
go to Hartford Public Schools, but they did take lessons at home with their mother and also with a governess. The governess was German, so Mrs. Clemens asked the governess to teach in German so the girls would learn a foreign language. Although Mark Twain did write a piece called That Awful German Language, so...
Yeah, I read something, but it was also written in German. That wasn't even an attempt.
Yeah, he was, but he loved German culture, so he was, of course, as always, joking. But the room that you were just in was the nursery, which started out as Susie's bedroom, the youngest girl, and then Clara came along. She was the second child. She was the only one to survive him. By the time he died, he lost 3 of his 4 children. She lived into the 1960s and reached the age of 88. And then when Jean, the baby of the family, came along, Susie got her own room, so that room, the nursery, became Clara and Jean's room.
Nice. And we're going next. Where?
We're going to go next to his billiard room.
All right. So, Josh, how about a game of billiards?
I would love to challenge you to a game of billiards, but Mr. Twain has left his writings and his books on the table, so...
All right, are you going to tell me that this was his man cave?
This was his man cave.
Oh,
this is actually his billiard table from New York, but we're in his man cave in Hartford, and there's lots of really great decor in this room that indicates the things that Mark Twain loved. And on the ceilings, there's bundles of cigars and crossed pipes. There's billiard balls and billiard cues. On the back wall here, these 2 rectangles of thinly shaved marble that have billiard cues and balls, champagne glasses, beer steins. So this room was dedicated to smoking, drinking, and playing billiards with his buddies. They would come up here, talk politics, have some scotch, what have you. But the other thing, and the most important thing about this room, is that this is the room where he worked. He put a table over in that corner right behind where you are with a green lamp, and that's where he sat when he worked on the books that he wrote in this house. And again, those books include Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, Prince and the Pauper, Connecticut Yankee. So some of the great works of American literature were created in this very room.
So he missed the basket like most of us do it when we're throwing stuff away, huh?
Exactly, and he'd like to pin up little notes and things, almost the Victorian equivalent of Post-its to remind him about stuff.
Nice room.
Yes, his favorite color. His favorite color was red.
Wow. It's not like my man cave.
There you go.
Where are we going next?
Where are we going next? We'll go down to the kitchen.
Before we go down to the kitchen with Jacques Lamars, our next two performers, one is very familiar with us because he's been on a number of our shows, Frank Wood, Mr. BTT himself. The song is Put It All On Me, pretty self-explanatory, and followed up by a fairly new artist named Katie Bell Aiken, a 13-year-old prodigy that someday will probably hit the mainstream and hitting it running. And the song we'll be listening to is It's Up to Me. I know you'll enjoy it.
Test, 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 test. 1, 2, 3, 4. Marched by indecision, thirst and for conviction, miles away from any sign that might show me the way. Heat, my mind is baking, my soul is for the taking, but if someone's gonna suffer, then it might as well be me. Can't reach a destination without hurting anyone. Wish I could lie down and drift away. Expectations higher than should be placed on anyone. Put them all on me and just let go. No one should have to pay the fine just 'cause I was blind. Took the easy way out, goes to leave. Just because the sun came out and opened up my eyes doesn't mean it was shining there for me. Can't do consolation, hurting anyone. Wish I could lie down and drift away. Expectations higher than should be placed on anyone. Put them all on me and just let go. I'm parched with indecision, thirsting for conviction, miles away from any sign that might show me the way. The heat, my mind is baking, soul is for the taking. Someone's gonna suffer, it might as well be me. Can't reach my destination without hurting anyone. I wish I could lie down and drift away. Expectations higher than should be placed on anyone. Put them all on me and just let go. Put them all on me and just let go. Put them all on me and just let go. Put them all on me and just let go. Put them all on me and just let go. All on me and just let go. smile at me and just let go.
Too hard, you'll never get that far. You got no chance, the odds are too high. Why even try? Oh, I've heard it all, yeah, all along, but I'm gonna prove them wrong. It's up to me who I'm gonna be, and playing it safe is not my destiny. No, a leap of faith, a chance I take. Every moment holds a million possibilities that only I can see, so it's up to me. I don't know why no one believes that I can live my dreams. I wanna fly, they put up walls, tell me I'll fall, but I won't stop, I'll do my best, turn every no into a yes. It's up to me who I'm gonna be, and playing it safe is not my destiny. No, a leap of faith, a chance I take. Every moment holds a million possibilities that only I can see, so it's up to me. Maybe I will and maybe I won't, but I'll never know if I don't follow my heart. Yeah, I'm gonna follow my heart, 'cause it's up to me who I'm gonna be, and playing it safe is not my destiny. No, a leap of faith, a chance I take. Every moment holds a million possibilities, 'cause it's up to me who I'm gonna be, and playing it safe is not my destiny. No, a leap of faith, a chance I take. Every moment holds a million possibilities, but only I can see who I'm gonna be, and just how high I reach is up to me. Up to me pretty much means that you can do anything as long as you put your mind to it, and anything is possible because it truly is up to you. I want to pursue my career in singing, and I hope that one day I can be that role model. It's up to me. Anything's possible as long as you're up to it and you have the persistence to do it.
Chuck, I want to thank you for allowing us.
It's been a pleasure.
It was a great tour. I hope everybody that watches this video looks at it and says, wow, if I'm in the area, I may come down.
Yeah, we didn't even show you the half of the room, so you gotta
No,
see.
we talked. We took what we thought was the best attributes of the house. So there's many more attributes to this house. And believe me, if you don't come, you're going to be missing a lot of things. So right now, I want to thank OmnTV. I want to thank you, the viewers. And I definitely want to thank our artists for allowing us to air their material over the air. So from me to you, have a good night and a safe week.
fool